Greetings, dear friends. Welcome to the new moon gathering of the meditation for the common good. Today we continue our work with the topic that we've been holding throughout the Taurus-Gemini cycle since the full moon 2 weeks ago. The topic, World Service, Stand Together, Open to the Incoming Vision and Energy. We radiate this for manifestation through humanity. So this topic we've been holding in our group field, meditating during the time of the full moon, invoking the vision of the unfolding plan and asking for the guidance from the inner side, from our elders. And as we've been holding this topic in our group focus, we had a chance to share our impressions at the quarter moon meeting, and so we will continue doing today. Looking to recognize the most resonant seeds that we will offer into our group chalice through our meditation to be magnetized and radiated to humanity into the stream of mental substance, where it would inspire thinkers of the world and thus advancing the evolutionary journey of the human family. As always, we start our work with sounding the purpose of statement. And I invite Birgit to voice our purpose.
Our purpose is to magnetize the ideas of common good, freedom, and brotherhood as the highest values of humanity at this time. We recognize and cherish diversity of perspectives in our group, creating a space capable of invoking, receiving, interpreting, and radiating a higher synthetic vision. We serve as an Asramic outpost, building a group bridge of Buddhic energy. We evoke the soul of humanity. We envision humanity as being the seed that is flowering. We prepare the way for the reappearance of the coming one. And over to you, Tracy.
Thank you, Brigitte. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. As we begin our focus today in this new moon meditation, the naming circle unites our hearts across distance as we begin our alignment together and bring ourselves fully into our group work. By uniting our hearts in this way, we begin naturally to work telepathically through our group mind. The key to this telepathic work is in the etheric alignment, which creates the group field and allows it to become both a receiving and transmitting agent for higher ideas and energies. Today, we will begin by calling our names into the circle, starting with our organizers. And as your name is called, please unmute yourself, say your name and where you're calling in from. For example, Tracy Arbor, calling in today from Augrey, Michigan, USA. And as we go through this, Let us turn our attention to our hearts and the heart center of the group gathered today, as each one of us calls ourselves into this circle. Alexander.
Hello, friends, again. This is Alexander Ilchuk, calling in from Brooklyn, New York, in the United States.
Welcome. Birgitta.
Greetings, everyone. I am Birgitte Rasmussen calling in from Denmark.
Welcome. Helen.
Thank you. This is Helen. I'm linking in today from Scotland near Edinburgh. Thank you.
Welcome. Alan.
Alan Holmquist, calling from Southern California, USA.
Welcome. Andrea.
Hi, everyone. This is Andrea Ross, and I'm calling today from Cambridge, Massachusetts, in the United States.
Welcome. Annetta.
Hello, everyone. My name is Annette, and I'm from Denmark.
Welcome. Barbara.
I'm Barbara Pennington. I am from Berkeley, California, USA.
Welcome. Ben.
This is Ben. Here I am in the peaceable kingdom of the Bronx, New York, USA.
Welcome. Jillian.
Hello, everyone. This is Gillian Douglas from Heacham, Norfolk, UK.
Welcome. Catherine.
Aloha, everyone. This is Catherine Heller calling in from the Big Island of Hawaii in the Kingdom of Hawaii.
Welcome. Rico.
Good morning. It's 3 o'clock in the morning in Tokyo, Japan.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Welcome. And Kiki.
Kiki Bill. I'm calling in today from Washington, D.C., USA. Thank you.
Welcome. Boy, we're from all over the place today, huh? How nice. Well, welcome, everyone. And thank you. Now that we're linked together as a group, let us share a few moments in silence to align, forming a triangle between Shambhala, the hierarchy, and humanity. May our efforts be of the highest vibration in selfless service for our purpose. Over to you, Alexander.
Thank you, Tracy. At the time of the full moon meditation, when we were together in the circle, Helen took us into meditation and offered questions for reflection. And today we continue our work reflecting and sharing our recognitions inspired by these questions. Maybe it would be good if, Helen, you could voice these questions for us. The questions are now on the screen, and that would be nice way for us to open our sharing today. Helen, would you be able to read the questions, to voice the questions?
I am trying. Sorry. Yes, I will endeavor to read them. I don't know how to make my screen big enough. There we are. Are we in daily touch with divine purpose? What steps are we taking in our daily lives to make that will? Oh, I think it'd be better if you read them.
Okay, so I can do.
So I have found them. I found them in.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
Are we in daily touch with divine purpose? What steps are we taking in our lives to make that will an accomplished fact? Do we work in closest cooperation and unity with our brothers and sisters to bring about the manifestation of the plan? How can we further encourage this cooperation? How are we offering our vision to our fellow human beings who do not have an esoteric perspective? Can we use aspects of the incoming fourth ray to help radiate a realization of harmony and right relationships between people and kingdoms?
Thank you. So we're opening the floor now. So when you're ready to share, please unmute yourself. And I also want to remind us about the community impressions board that we've been using between our meetings to share recognitions and quotes that inspired us. The link to the community board in the chat now.
The third question about harmony. In creative thinking of Cedar Krantz, there's a meditation of for the fourth ray that I can translate it to I, the soul, will the harmony, the tone of harmony, strike the tone of harmony through my personality and my environment. That tone transmute all conflicts that it comes in contact with to harmony with God's plan on earth. A very clumsy translation, but I think it's very fitting for the third question. Thank you.
The other day, I was reading, "Let the soul control the outer form." And I thought, well, that's sort of it on a daily basis. If the soul can control the outer form and how we interact as we go about our day with brothers and sisters, and that seems to me a way to achieve this. And it helps show people how it can be done, and maybe open their heart a little bit and their mind to a higher way of thinking and living, to a Christ consciousness. I mean, ultimately, I guess that would be, but anyway, that was it. Thank you.
I was thinking about the same thing with Kiki you shared. In reflection on the first question, are we in touch? Are we in daily touch with the divine purpose? My recognition is that we are in touch only if we are in touch with our soul. Then we have a chance to be in that alignment. But if we are not, and for most of humanity, which that is the reality, humanity is not in constant touch. The forces of entropy are much more prevalent for those of us and who are not in touch with the soul, or for those of us who are not always in touch with our soul. And therefore, the role of this collective that we call the New Group of World Service, why it's such an important role, because that's the unity, the subjective unity of people who can maintain that connection with the soul, or maintain that connection with their soul most of the time, and therefore collectively have this stable presence of soul consciousness, soul group consciousness on the planet. And therefore it's new recognition, or it's in recognition of a new role, the new task that we have. And that's probably relates to the shift that we experiencing is happening now, especially now following the Vesak, this presence of group consciousness within a much larger collective of us, a much larger field of group consciousness. Probably we all have experienced and been experiencing many times this very different state of group consciousness when we are working together with our brothers and sisters in a smaller group, 2, 3 people, maybe 5 people, maybe 12 people. It's a very specific note when you start recognizing yourself as a group. And now my sense that similar note starts sounding within this larger collective. And it's will have quite a ripple effect for everything that will be happening in the world. But, oh, not but, and the key for that is exactly what Kiki, you shared, is that holding in the light of the soul, recognition of that, oh, not even recognition, what is the word I'm looking for? The presence of that energy that we hold as a group together.
Hi, Jill here. I was reading the piece today by Bruce Lipton, which I thought was quite interesting. It's not actually mentioning the soul, but I think it's fairly relevant to what we're talking about. And it goes as follows. There's a tendency in our world to not really pay attention to those things that are below the level of the head. It's not that relevant, but I found that it's the voice of the cells that gives us reason and understanding. Cells are actually reading our behavior and giving us information as to whether or not we're working in harmony with our biology. So I started to realize that rather than trusting my own intelligence in my head, I would rather first trust the intelligence of my cells, which talk to us in regular words in the sense of feelings. When you're doing something that is supportive of your life and supportive of the cellular community, you can feel the harmony in the system and you can feel wellness permeating the system. This intelligence is vital because using it will help us create a happy, harmonious life on this planet.
Thank you. Jill. I think that addresses one of the things, or one of the points that came up with the third question about conversing and acknowledging the people, not particularly in the esoteric field. And here you've got somebody who's talking about the same things that we're talking about, but in a slightly different language. And Alexander said about this awareness of the wider group. And I've been thinking a lot about this, the world server, or the new group of world servers, and how many people there are who are in this group that are in different traditions and ways of looking at the world. And the last time we gathered together, there was some talk about being in love is not looking at each other, it's looking in the same direction. And somebody else thought, no, it wasn't looking in the same direction, it was being in a circle and looking towards each other. And I thought facing outward from the circle. And I got a sense during the week of because we're talking about vision and the eye of the bull, because we've been moving from Taurus into Gemini. This vision, this ability to look in all directions and to keep alert in our vision, and to recognize these members and strengthen their hands of the new group of world servers in whatever field they are in. And I think it's Katja mentioned the seed groups and all the people in those various walks of life, and how they too can be members of the world server. And yes, I was just thinking of this vision and keeping alert to watching all the time and looking and being aware in all directions. And also, Kiki, I loved what you said. That is a wonderful mantra, isn't it? Yes, thank you.
Hi, this is Reiko from Tokyo, and I think I want to talk something. Today I came here because I wanted to connect with my colleagues and feel your energy. between after Wesaku and before the full moon of Christ. And I think this is very important season and timing for esoteric students. And right now, I think a sense of detachment from what is important is very important to me, to myself, especially from the detachment from the results. Because 2025 is a year that we have, I have been looking forward to for many years, and knowing that what will happen makes me expect to happen in reality. And sometimes I despair, wondering where God's will really lies. But for me, God's will of God is first and foremost in this group, in the existence of the new group of world servers, and in power of our love and will that is gathering at this meeting and this time. And whether I am attached to it or not, the practice and manifestations of this group is our great hope. It's my great hope. And while my practicing of this attachment, I feel the reality of this group as a definite the reality of God's wills. This may be a proof of the God wills which exist as more definite reality that it would about like 100 years ago when DK writes the first time about the world service. But after 100 years, it's more grounded reality, and that is the manifestation of the progress of the humanity. And that's why I came here today, to feel your energy and the reality of our existence. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, because Rico, that's so true, because sometimes I wonder the same thing, the manifestation, but then I remember that we are the ones that are manifesting God's will, because God himself is so high on the logoic plane, that he needs us in this, or his self, which is us in the lower physical world, to actually manifest the divine plan. And I was thinking, as you were talking too, that just the fact, even those, like question 3 talks about how do we offer our vision to the fellow human beings who aren't maybe there at the esoteric perspective yet. And I think it's just a matter of being, how we are in our daily lives, how we interact with others. Again, like was shared earlier in the talk today about how we tune to harmony, and we're supposed to like transmute the conflict, which is Ray 4, art and harmony through conflict, to manifest and fulfill the divine plan. And part of that plan is to go through the conflict. That's humanity's on the 4th ray. The 4th ray is coming in to help us express this art and harmony through conflict. So we are cast into this chaotic state, or this unharmonious state, and it gives us an opportunity to not only do it in our own personal lives, but within the group, and then out into the world as we present ourselves out into the world with others that maybe aren't esoteric. So yeah, I think the divine plan obviously can't be manifest without us. We're an intricate part. We are a part of God, a monad, a spark of that divine, and it's our job to live in this world and the next, in both worlds as esoteric students and aspirants and disciples. And I was thinking about the times with Jesus, and how did the disciples of Jesus cooperate and bring about the divine plan of brotherhood of man? It wasn't that easy. I mean, and obviously it didn't completely get fulfilled in the Piscean age. So hopefully with this Aquarian age, we're going to fulfill it and have the brotherhood of man. But we're over 2,000 years after the disciples, who had a realization of certain things, but our world has changed a lot. So we are moving more from that solar plexus into heart chakra and mental body. So yeah, I think proof that God is there is just looking at our own fellow human beings, our brothers and sisters, and looking at ourselves, because we are the manifestation of God. So thank you. That was a good point.
Following on from those points about speaking to people who are not in esoteric ways at the moment, I think when I started off, I didn't speak about it at all to people, or if I did have to raise a subject, anything to do with it, I would sort of be a little bit apologetic that I was taking a different path to everyone else that I knew. And now I think I'm realizing that the thing we must do is show confidence in what we say when we have to say something. I mean, we're not meant to give too much of our work away. I'm well aware of that, but it comes up that you read, you bring up relevant, topical, interesting subjects at times. And I think you have to back yourself with confidence in what you say and what you think. And when you think something's wrong, you have to have the nerve to say it. So I think that's important. Thank you.
And thinking of Helen, the third question, can we use aspects of the incoming fourth ray to help radiate a realization of harmony? And the answer I thought was yes. That's sort of what Jillian was saying, what we all were saying. Yes, through harmony, through kindness or love or trying to help others. It's those ways that people's hearts might be touched. And as I got out the other mantra, there was the one here that's just as potent, the affirmation of love. In the center of all love I stand. From that center, I, the soul, will outward move. From that center, I can put we, the ones who serve, will work. May the love of the divine self be shed abroad in my heart, through my group, and throughout the world. It sort of seems to encapsulate a lot of what we were speaking about. Thanks.
Today we have Saturn and Neptune in conjunctions in Aries, and I think it is a new beginning of the sixth ray Neptune, very high second ray heart energy. Both a karma, but also a new beginning in a higher turn of the spiral upwards towards the second ray love wisdom. Thank you.
It's actually a very beautiful energy combination of Saturn and Neptune conjunction. If we think in terms of this, going back to question number 3, how we communicate the essence of the teachings. So if you think about it, it's when Christ came last time on the physical plane in Palestine, it's one of the battles he had to take. It was with Pharisees, who were custodians and guardians of the God messages, or should we say teachings, translated into our modern language. And so that's the challenge, how for us as students of ageless wisdom, not to be Pharisees who guard the teaching without connection with the essence of the teaching. And so this energy of Neptune, very elevated Christ energy, in combination with the Saturn, the Lord of Karma and scrutinizer of forms, it might help us to actually get into the essence of the teachings and not worry so much about the outer form, outer manifestation. And when we recognize the essence, the seed of any idea that is expressed through the teachings, and be able to communicate it in language with words that are most relevant to a person who's in front of us, then we would be much more closer to Christ, to the essence. And so I think it's one of the challenges for us now is not to be zealots of the teachings and to let go the scaffolding of the teachings, allowing the inner beauty of the message that was given to us via the teachings to shine through us.
Yes. Yes. How are we offering our vision? I don't like the word our so much. Asterisk, the Syrian law of freedom. The conversation I had earlier today, a friend said, I might not be able to make the 12 heartbeats today. I have to go to the Social Security office and tomorrow to the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles. And I wrote back, opportunities to blast strangers with light. I love places where people are stuck with me, waiting for something. Small talk can skillfully turn to something deep. Make the most of Social Security, of the DMV. When I'm on the phone, I wait for them to say, is there anything else I can help you with? And I go into my, yes, something personal. When you have a quiet moment, remember your hopes, remember your dreams. And the conversation takes a turn, it takes off from there. I remind people of their greatness, of how they feel there's something more. As Alexander said, meeting them on their own terms, not offering our vision, but offering them a chance to have their vision, acknowledging that God can speak to them if I can just remind them that they have a soul.
Yes, and there is the joy of playing in an orchestra. If you look at the art or singing in a choir, it's a wonderful group experience, which is open to many people. I think always encourage people to sing in a choir, or if they can play in an orchestra, because it is a wonderful experience. And yes, you can feel your own sort of communion with soul, whatever you wish to call it. And somebody earlier was talking about the harmony through conflict. One of my grandkids plays the French horn, and his teacher says, think of a note. Don't change. You play that note, and I'll think of a note, and I'll play that note. And then they listen together. And he says sometimes, it's a harmony and it sounds beautiful. Sometimes it's a dissonance. And he always says, go on listening until you can hear the harmony in the dissonance. And you can, and I think you get that when we sound the om, sometimes you say, ooh, and then you listen, and in actual fact, it is harmonizing in a different way. Not perhaps quite the way we expected. So yes, I think we do have to be open. We have to be flexible, don't we? No, we don't have to be. We can be open, and we can be flexible in how we communicate with other people.
As we prepare for meditation, let us listen to most resonant ideas that's been placed into the group chalice today or during our previous times when we were together in a circle reflecting on these questions, preparing to offer them into the group cauldron to be magnetized and radiated. And if anyone else would like to share before we go to meditation, please do it now.
Just a quick thing, Helen. I've always wanted to join a choir, but never had the nerve to do so. But it is one way of creating a type of harmony in the world.
You could say we are trying to make a choir here in meditation and making the same effort, trying to at least. Thank you.
Very true.
Yes, and we might remember the Pythagorean harmony of the spheres, that there are octaves and octaves and octaves, but that are engulfing and supporting our choir here.
Thank you, Barbara. That's there resonates with another recognition that came with this Vesak during this Vesak time, is that the presence of those on the subtle levels, they becoming much closer than before, and whatever we do, it's not just us. They're always here, and somehow it feels that following this Vesak, they're even more energized and motivated to be actively present in whatever we do and being with us and among us.
So let us become still and aware of a stillness within. Call again to mind our topic. World servers stand together, open to the incoming vision and energy. We radiate this towards manifestation through humanity. Let us feel the third ray of the earth through our feet. Feel the planetary prana. And ask the Mother of the world, at the heart of the earth, the great goddess of the Deva kingdom, to help us to bring into manifestation the thoughts which our soul creates for the common good. And now let us focus in our heart centers. And as in our alignment last week, let us link the heart center between the shoulder blades, the ajna center, and the head center, the crown. Heart, ajna, head. This triangle allows for the opening of the heart center in the head. The 12 petals at the center of the 1,000-petal lotus. And as we become aware of the heart in the head, so we can think in the heart. As a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. And as a woman thinketh in her heart, so she is. Let us remember, the stronger our individual alignment, the greater our group alignment and the building of our group and karana. which now opens us into the light of the soul. We are celebrating today the new moon in Gemini. Well, it's still today here in Europe. And we are offering the seeds and revelations in our chalice for manifestation through humanity. We're aware of the need to work with the Devas and the Mother of the world in order to bring these ideas into manifestation. As we approach the great festival of the Christ, we remember he is the world teacher, the master of the masters, and the instructor of the angels. We can also invoke the aid of three of the rays of manifestation through Gemini, rays 3, 4, and 5, and with the overshadowing second ray, offering love, and with the Shambhala impact at this time, the will to love. Love is goodwill in action. Goodwill is a person's first attempt to express the love of God. Its results on earth will be peace. It is so simple and practical that people fail to appreciate its potency or its scientific and dynamic effect. One person sincerely practicing goodwill in a family can completely change its attitudes. Goodwill, really practiced among groups in any nation, by political and religious parties in any nation, and among the nations of the world, can revolutionize the world. Goodwill. Told the major impulse driving the Christ towards his special work was the desire to establish right human relations. It is also the desire, realized or unrealized, of humanity. And we remember that in Gemini, full, we celebrate the Christ festival and the festival of humanity. As well as looking forward towards World Invocation Day. DK points out the importance of sounding the Great Invocation as a means of aiding the reappearance of the masters. He says of stanza 1, and here he's speaking of the third version of the Great Invocation. The stanza 1, let light stream forth into the minds of men. This is the influencing of the minds of disciples, the enlightening of intelligent humanity. It works on the mental plane. He says stanza 2 has a different emphasis. Let love stream forth into the hearts of men. The influencing of the masses everywhere. The outpouring of the Christ Spirit. Working on the astral plane. And stanza 3 speaks to the mutable cross to which Gemini belongs, which is related to the earth and to matter. The purpose which the masters know and serve. The anchoring of hierarchical energy on earth. The physical appearance of the Christ, related to the etheric physical plane. There will come a point in all these three spheres of Christ's proposed activity when conflict will be superseded by harmony. This is due to the fact that the energy of harmony through conflict is under the control or influence of the energy of the second ray of love, wisdom. As far as humanity as a sum total is concerned, the conflict of ideas and of emotional desire is today so acute that it will finally exhaust itself. And men will turn with relief and with a longing to escape from further turmoil towards right human relations. This will constitute the first major human decision leading to the longed-for harmony. So perhaps we can remember these thoughts when we sound the Great Invocation at the end of our meditation. Let us now hold still, gently and rhythmically breathing together. Visualize the world servers standing together open to the incoming vision and energy, which we radiate towards manifestation through humanity. We heard at the Taurus full moon how the closest cooperation and unity exists between the Manu, the Christ, and the Mahakuni, and how every move and plan and event exists in their united foreknowledge. They are in daily touch with the Lord of the world at Shambhala, and the entire guidance of affairs rests in their hands. From this came our questions. Are we in daily touch with divine purpose? What steps are we taking in our lives to make that will an accomplished fact? Do we work in closest cooperation and unity with our brothers and sisters to bring about the manifestation of the plan? And then came the question, how are we offering our vision to our fellow human beings, especially those who do not have an esoteric perspective? And we thought about the influence of the fourth ray of harmony through conflict. We ask higher vibrational beings to now guide and assist this group in registering and impressing in our hearts and minds the ideas which we will place in the chalice to be magnetized for use by humanity. We hold open and receptive. With love, we offer our seeds into the chalice. Each one of us can unmute and speak as we are moved to. We also honor those who choose not to speak, but who silently offer their formulated seeds into the golden chalice. After each vocalized offering, we will allow each seed to rest in silence for a while before the next one is offered. When we feel moved, let us vocalize the seed we wish to place in the golden chalice. Thank you.
Finding the essence in the heart.
Acceptance of diversity, as long as love and harmony are the goal of the efforts made.
As we live our lives as a soul and connect with group soul, we magnetize harmony, transmuting conflict into love and radiating it out into humanity.
Simply reminding people of their greatness, that they know there's something more.
Let us make a joyful noise together.
The hope of humanity is in disciples learning to find the harmony among each other, accepting and appreciating our differences and diversities, and yet recognizing our unity and manifesting it.
Birth of the divine human who co-creates soul to soul, soul to oneness.
Anyone else like to vocalize a seed? So let us pause while the seeds vibrate and resonate in the chalice and become magnetic in the light of Gemini and the love of Christ. We lift our chalice to the hierarchy, offering our service in support of the evolution of humanity. And now we turn and radiate towards humanity and visualize the chalice overflowing with the new life more abundant of the Aquarian age. And we ask that our efforts may be according to divine will and influence for the common good and the whole earth with all its kingdoms in its transformational journey towards the sacred. Close with a great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. The point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. And from the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light, love, and power restore the plan on earth. Thank you all for our group service.